Coffee have been working with AACO to develop what is a world first for Wagyu beef. We develop descriptions to help the consumer and to help our customers understand what the taste of the different cuts of Wagyu are, but also looking at the different marbling grades and understanding what are those sensory nuances that makes a high grade Wagyu marble compared to a medium or a low grade marble. And so it helps the consumer understand what it is that they're paying for when they pay for a particular type of product. At the moment, in restaurants like Moo Moo's or other restaurants across Queensland and also other parts of Australia, Wagyu is obviously being served, but up until now, things like how many days of grain fed or what the animal is raised on are usually the terminology that's used to communicate with the consumer the value of the cut. But really that information doesn't mean a lot to Joe Blogs, to you and I. What we're really looking for is understanding, just like the back of a wine label, what are those flavours that I'm going to get? Am I going to get caramelised and roasted flavours, or am I going to have a more delicate cut with some of that brassica complexity or white pepperiness? So we're able to choose then on those menus as a consumer what specifically those types of flavours that we're looking for. So we started the project, the concept of the project a couple of years ago when Matt Kelly from AACO came to have a chat to me, and he understood that we had the ability, we had trained panels here on site to be able to taste and describe the sensory properties of different food products. And so we designed a project together that looked at the key cuts of meat, so the strip loin, the tenderloin and the cube roll under the Westholme brand, and we looked at 3 different marbling grades within that. We then went about getting our trained sensory panel on board. We have 12 experienced tasters. Many of them have been working with us for more than 5 years, and they're really good at coming up with the words to describe the smells and the tastes and even the aftertaste and the texture of any products that they evaluate. We went through a training process with the panel where we gave them the meat. We prepared it under very strict guidelines, specifically internal temperature, cut to a specific size and shape, covered in these little alfoil trays, so it was presented to them hot and exactly the same every time. And then we allowed them to develop this vocabulary that they use to describe those aroma properties, to describe the flavour properties and also the textural properties. And then they went into the booths, the individual sensory booths, and they assessed each of those samples under replicated assessments, controlled lighting, controlled temperature. They didn't know the identity of the samples, everything was coded. And they rated each of those sensory descriptions, that vocabulary that they developed during that training, to come up with scientific information that demonstrates the specific differences between the different cuts of Wagyu, but also between the different marbling grades.